Welcome. Welcome to the Elevation Foundation YouTube channel with Dr. B Sirius and all of you joining together. I'd like to welcome you wherever you are, wherever you're coming from, and wherever you're going. If you're looking for information that you can add to your knowledge, to your data, that can help with growth, expansion, information that can help you seek your higher self, then you're in the right place. You're listening to the music of one of my projects. This track is called Theta Waves. This one is tuned to 432 hertz, which is a special frequency which taps you into the earth frequency. It's music that taps you into your higher self, your higher consciousness. It opens up the spectrum of your mind, body, and spirit soul. If you're interested in this type of music, go to elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. And you can actually receive all of the 4 medicine music projects at one time together in one big package at elevationtime.com. For those of you who are not aware, I am a musician, a producer, an engineer, a composer. I specialize in high vibrational, interdimensional, cosmic music. Frequencies that open up your mind, open up your eyes. Frequencies that help your body heal. I'd like to welcome all of you who are here right now. We're going to have an interesting talk this evening. And I'd like to know who's here for the first time. And if you're here for the first time, how did you hear about this webcast? How did you hear about Dr. B Sirius? How did you hear about elevationtime.com? Was it on a radio show? Was it on the Brother Rich radio show from Billy Carson broadcast? Did you hear about this on YouTube? Did you hear about this on, we're now on TikTok. I finally have my TikTok account working. I was told if I didn't have TikTok, I'd be talked and ticked out of this thing. So you gotta get TikTok. So finally we have a TikTok account. You can find Dr. B Sirius on all the platforms now. That's Doctah, be Sirius. DOCTAH, the letter B, and Sirius, SIRIUS, like the star. So if you're new, let us know that you're here new. If you're a veteran, a VIP, let us know. I see some folks say they've heard us from the 19 Keys interviews. Yes. The Carl Nelson Show. Yes. How many of you were here from the Carl Nelson Show? You know, I've been on the Carl Nelson radio show since 1994. In fact, Carl Nelson and his partner helped to actually push me into going into the public's eye. Yeah. I wasn't attempting to do this. My thing was just to make music and help folks heal and use some of the ideas and knowledge that I learned about healing myself. So if you're here and you're interested in learning more about health, wellness, mentally, physically, spiritually, then you're in the right place. Good. I see lots of folks coming in. Yes. Beautiful. Hey, is that King Simon? Is that you, King? Welcome, all of you. It's going to be a fun ride. The music. The vibe. Gonna take a hit of quassia. We'll talk about quassia a little later on. This is a quassia cup. Woo! Now we're ready. If you just tuned in, welcome. Before we begin, I'd like to know, is it okay that we share information that you may not have heard before? Is it okay if we make this a little fun and a little what we call highly spirited? And is it okay if we share some information that may agitate or cause you to grow? Is that okay? I'm asking permission from all of you, and it is respectful to ask permission before we just delve in and start dropping all kinds of knowledge on people. So we ask permission of ourselves first to be who we came to be. Ask permission of ourselves, give permission to ourselves to be the next you, the new you. It's important to do this each day, especially now. We are in the wave of the equinox. The equinox, which they say is on the 20th. Is that what the date is, the 20th? And today's not quite the 20th, Dr. B. But we're in the wave of the equinox because the sun, when it's directly over the equator, and we have what's called equal day, and equal night, that's called the equinox. The sun is beginning to move or is moving gradually south towards the equator, bringing fall or autumn to the northern hemisphere. And if you're anywhere where you can see the trees and the leaves falling, that lets you know what time it is. I know we have these exact dates on our calendars, and they've, basically from the Western mindset located these ideas, and they say this is exactly the way it is. But actually, we are, wait a minute now, something's happening with my audio. 1, 2. I think y'all hear me. Can you hear me loud and clear? My indicators here, my meters are going crazy. But we hear that things happen on a certain date. This is the date. This is the exact time. But in nature, nothing is truly exact. Everything is, it fluctuates, it changes, it grows, it expands. And even though the sun is moving closer and closer to the equator, depending on your perspective, that time and that energy of the equinox is actually right now. Even though the exact date and the exact time has not come, it's on the way, so it's close. So the wave of the energy of the equinox is upon us. The trees tell me it's fall. It's been fall for 2 weeks. That's what nature is saying. I'm watching the squirrels gathering up the nuts and putting them away for winter. So instead of us waiting for a calendar or for someone to tell us what time it is, we have to be able to tap into ourselves and feel. And when we're ready, we don't have to get ready. Be ready now. The leaves are falling. The temperatures are falling. The days are getting shorter. This is signaling us to prepare for 3 months of winter coming soon. So you've got 3 months of every season to prepare you for the next season. The fall season is extremely important to us because we still have some of the summer heat inside of our bodies that we've been storing throughout the summer months. That heat is inside the body. We're holding on to it. The energy, the electricity we picked up during that time is in the body. And if we have too much summer heat in our body into the fall, that can actually cause us to be ill. So we're going to talk about today how to shift into the season in a way where we create wellness in our bodies, where we're prepared to go through the shorter days and the colder temperatures and less light that we're receiving in the fall. So look at fall as being right now. Think of the trees dropping their leaves as them letting go of the things that they no longer need, because those leaves were there to pick up the sunlight throughout the spring and the summer. But going into the fall and then into the winter, the energy begins to drop down and the water begins to pull down the tree into the roots. So the tree now is going inward, it's going inside. And it's going to use the energy that it received all summer long from the sun, which is stored in its trunk. And it no longer needs the leaves that in the past were tools. So if we think about the analogy of us being like trees, because we are, How many things did we pick up through the year that we need to let go of and leave behind? How many ideas, emotions, feelings, even physical items would it be best to let go of instead of hoarding? You wouldn't wear summer clothes in the fall. Well, I guess some people would. But if it's winter and you're out in the summer clothes, you got a bikini or a little bathing suit on in the snow. I mean, I guess people do that at times, if they're doing the whole, cryo technique. You could go out and throw yourself on the ice in the snow. But generally, it's best to dress for the season. It's best to eat for the season and eat foods that are in that season. So the foods that are available now, it's easy to know what they are because you go to like the farmers markets and they're going to have foods in that season. With the advent of grocery stores, we began to get used to eating everything any time of the year, anytime we liked. All season, you could get watermelons in the winter now. Your body is connected to the season. Your body's connected to the earth. Your body's connected to the vibration and the soul of the planet. And wherever you are on the planet is where you're growing. Just like the trees are growing in a certain place, wherever you're living right now is where you're growing. That is where you're alive. And it would be best to eat foods in the season that grow in that season. So now we shift into fall and we begin to eat the foods that are available, like apples, pears, jujube dates. Y'all know about jujube dates? Oh, I should have brought some up here downstairs. They just came. The jujube dates, amazing to help build blood. Even fresh dates, the fresh dates that are yellow right now, that haven't turned into little brown dates that are, kind of dehydrated and sweet. The fresh dates are in season. Look at the foods that are in season right now. In fact, in the fall, just look at the foods that begin with P, the P foods. So you got pomegranate, you got plums, you got pistachios. I mean, go down the list. Pumpkins. Did I say pomegranate? Look at the foods that begin with P. And it may be best to eat those foods in this season because the body is vibrating right at the same frequency of the season. And those foods that grow in that season are vibrating with the frequency of the nowness of that moment, which keeps you in now. It keeps you in currency. Currency has to do it right now. When you are current, that means you're living now. And a lot of times we live in the past. We think in the past, we feel in the past, we keep remembering the past. And that's okay for references, especially if they're decent or they're good memories. I think you spelled jujube. Jujube. Somebody said, please spell jujube. Jujubi or BE. I'm not sure. My spelling, I left spelling class early. I went out to jail, go look at the bees outside and play with the flowers and plants. So if you ever see me spelling things funny, it's one of those challenges that, we have. To be current is to be right now. And when you're current, that means you're in the space right now, picking up the energy, the electricity of now. So when we go to the past and we attempt to live in summertime, in the fall, it's going to cause us to be ill or out of balance or out of homeostasis. And right now, it's important to find homeostasis within ourselves. Get busy like the squirrels. I'm noticing certain birds already flying south. They're not waiting for Sunday, the 20th. They're flying now because something told them there's a trigger that happens in nature that says seasons are changing. Time is changing. Frequency is changing. Become current. Get into the currency of now. That's where the business is. And when you mind your business and business your mind, you stay current. You stay present because that's your gift. Your gift is to be present right now. Your gift is to be in harmony and in frequency with what's happening right now. And only if we need to go to the past for something, we go get it if it's there and we really need it. But when we act like the trees, we leave a lot of the things that are no longer needed or desirable. We don't want to think too far into the future because the future is a mystery. So be in right now. That causes you to tap into this moment. What we're talking about today is the connection between telomeres, toxins, parasites, and the seasons. Unveiled. There is a connection between the telomeres, toxins, parasites, and the seasons. How many of you are aware of this connection? We're going to start off talking about telomeres. I'm getting excited. My glasses are getting steamed up. You ever have that where your glasses get steamed up? You get excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. What about you? Today has been a busy day. It's a lot of things that I was quote unquote supposed to do today. Phone calls I was supposed to make. People I was supposed to notify. It was even a bill I was supposed to pay today. But something happened today. And something has been happening every day. These emergencies keep popping up. An emergency isn't always something, disagreeable. An emergency is when you're ready to emerge, right, from a situation so that you could clearly see. Emergency. That's how I look at it. Today has been busy. Every second of this day. So there were things that I thought and that I desired or wanted to do that didn't get done because I stayed in the current moment, which keeps me calm when I'm in the moment. And if I'm not thinking about all the things that I had to do, what I have to do right now is be current. When you are being current, your telomeres vibrate at a frequency and send a message to your chromosomes that everything is okay. Let's talk about this. What are telomeres? And I'm going to do some reading tonight so we can be clear. Telomeres are the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes. So, your genes have the little shoestring, looks like two shoestrings hanging down. Those are chromosomes. And at the end are what they call telomeres. Their gradual shortening or degradation is a natural part of cellular aging. However, several factors accelerate telomere loss and can impact health and longevity and aging prematurely. The telomeres, if you look at them, look at the end of a shoestring, and you see these little frays, little small strings coming off of the major string. Imagine those are like telomeres hanging at the ends of, you say, focus my camera, I'm blurry. Maybe there's some grease on it. Let's try that. Maybe it was some, how's that? Is that better? Maybe it was some coconut oil on there. I've been dealing with coconut oil in the last hour or so. Anyway, if it's blurry, it's going to be blurry. It's all right. You don't have to be crystal clear. We need everything high definition today. When we are living, the telomeres are vibrating. The shoestrings vibrate. Your genes or your chromosomes vibrate. based on how you're vibrating, based on how you're living. The telomeres are like little antennas at the ends of the chromosomes. And around the telomere is something called the telomere cap. It binds those little strings, those fibers, those filaments. It binds them together so they don't fray off, just like a shoelace. Without that plastic cap, the shoelace strings would shorten. They would fray off. The telomere cap is binding those strings together, the telomere strings. So I'm going to read this again. Telomeres are the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes, and their gradual shortening, degradation, is a natural part of cellular aging. These little strings begin to shorten as you age, or they shorten when you go through certain levels of stress or toxicity. When those little strings shorten, it signals the chromosomes to stop replicating or tells the cell to stop dividing. When those telomeres get too short, the cell goes through apoptosis. Older cells go through apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. To keep the cells, right, operating at high efficiency, to keep them at their best, we have to make sure that that cell is viable. And if that cell begins to age, it needs to be replaced. That's called apoptosis, programmed cellular death. That's a program that tells the cell how long it can live at its best. However, several factors accelerate telomere loss, which can impact the health and the longevity and aging prematurely. Sometimes when the telomere cap is wearing away too quickly, then all of a sudden those strings begin to break off prematurely. So there's a natural apoptosis when the cell is supposed to be at its prime, and when it's out of its prime, the body gets rid of that cell and replaces it. But imagine the cell is being signaled and triggered to die prematurely. Telomeres, they have a lot to do with how long we live, how healthy we are, and how quickly the body can heal from dis-ease. When the telomere cap begins to wear away because we have too much telomerase. Telomerase is the enzyme, right, that actually keeps that cap at the perfect length or the perfect tightness. If we have too much telomerase, it eats that telomere cap away prematurely. It dissolves it. Telomerase is important, but if you have too much of it, which can be triggered by the environment around the gene, it can be triggered by information that antagonized or that is distorted by that is being distorted, and that information begins to make the cell freak out. That's a good one. Freak out. That's not very scientific, Dr. B. Cells freak out. Cells are like people. So telomeres, just think of it like this. Telomeres are like little telephones, little antennas on the telephone. Remember cell phones used to have an antenna? Like a CB or walkie-talkie to have an antenna? Those are called receptors. Well, telomeres are like little receptors that are picking up information and telling the cell what's going on in the environment. They're telling. If your antennas begin to break off, if your receptors begin to break off, you are not able to receive information about what season it is, what time it is. Your timing gets off. And there's many factors that causes your cellular timing to be off, where cells begin to die prematurely, or cells are not replicating themselves quick enough, or if there's too much antagonation, that's a whole new word, antagonation. You know what antagonation means? When a nation is antagonized. Antagonation. Write that down. Somebody put that in the chat. New word. Antagonation. I'm not going to deal with this antagonation, Dr. B. That's when the nation is going through so much. We get distracted. Did you know mass distraction affects your telomeres? Because your cells are listening to everything that's going on in the environment. And the extracellular fluid, which is floating around through your body, is picking up information that you're hearing, that you're seeing, that you're feeling. And this chemistry that is firing and, creating actions and reactions based on what you're dealing with, what you're eating, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're pondering on. Telomeres have a lot to do with cell replication and repair. They tell the cell that there's time that we need to fix. We need to sleep. We need to rest so we can repair. When the telomeres are too short, your life becomes shorter. Your replication, the repair process becomes shorter. You can't repair your cells don't repair. Did I say that right? Your cells don't repair themselves as quickly as they could because there's this, what's the word? Antagonation. I like that word. Okay. I'm attempting to describe something which is actually pretty difficult to describe. If you haven't studied this, I would go say study it now. And there's a book called The Telomere Effect. The Telomere Effect, which I'd ask most of you to go read this. It's pretty scientific and pretty thorough. So it's a pretty thick book, and the words are kind of small. But this book is by Elizabeth Blackburn and Elisa Eppo. Living Younger, Healthier, and Longer. A lot of what they talk about when they talk about telomeres is telomeres going through stress. Your telomeres have a lot to do with your life expectancy. I'm going to talk about this two different ways. One is what they say that your life expectancy is. They tell you, life expectancy of a person is 85 now. They give you these numbers. And because they keep repeating them over and over, it becomes like a meme or a program, a mimicry inside your head. And you repeat it over and over, and it becomes real if you believe that. Especially if it's people who are authority figures coming to you saying, the oldest person on the planet is 101 years old. He eats yogurt. We believe that, like they know every person on the planet. They don't. Every person on the planet. There's people who are living in blue zones, who are living, they're living much longer. They're living into their hundreds. Is it hundreds? Well, more than 100. They're called centenarians. Those folks have telomeres that are operating efficiently. One of the things that we notice with the blue zones is the water in those areas has lots of minerals in it. They're eating more naturally. They're eating food from the garden. Their soil has lots of minerals. And here's the big one. They live very connected in communities. They support each other. There's a beautiful relationship within the social construct in the blue zones. The folks are friendly. I've actually been to one of the blue zones in California, and the folks, they talk softer. How are you doing? And they really mean it. A lot of people say, well, how are you doing? They don't really mean it. They just asking something to say something because that's what they were told to do. If you say, well, I'm not doing too good, they run off. Well, what's wrong with him? Well, you ask, how was I doing? Why do you care if you're not going to be here to help me? But there's a lot of things that we say that we really don't mean. They're just memes, or they're just, sayings that we repeat that sound good. But in the blue zones, when I was in California, and I just notice how the people look you in your eyes and they're all walking, older people out walking, even if it's cold. They do things, they exercise together, they support each other. You know what I'm saying? They don't do as much shade throwing and arguing. And I didn't see a lot of cell phones and tablets. I'm not saying they didn't have them. I didn't see people sitting in the park, you know what I'm saying, with phones. And we went in a little restaurant and everybody was, I saw one person. This is the truth. I saw one person, it was a child that had a tablet while the parents were eating. But it wasn't like a lot of people sitting on these tablets because they are connected in a communical. Is that a word? There's another one, communical. In a communical way. Communical. Somebody put that in there. Yes, and it's true. This particular place in California is it's where there's a lot of what they call 7-day Adventist. And it's not necessarily the religion, because people get caught up. It's the way they live. It's a flow of a community that is about, it's about moving energy. It's about making sure the chi is good, the connection is good, the life force is good. Make sure everybody's okay. Check on each other, care about each other. Don't just throw the old folks away and tell the young folks to shut up. You see, it's about coming together and being together and vibrating that energy in our bodies so that the telomeres hear that it's great outside. This is a great place to be, because when the telomeres start getting the notion and the vibration that things are not good and we're in fight or flight, and we're arguing all the time. You're in arguration. There's another word, arguration. Write that in there. New word again. We got a lot of new words tonight. Arguration. How many people live in arguration? What is arguration, Dr. B? Well, here's the new definition that I'm going to create right now. Arguration is when we're arguing most of the time. We're fighting to win. A lot of folks are arguing for their own weakness, to prove how weak they are, or how much of a victim they are, or to prove their point about how bad things they are. I call that arguration. I just made it up. Making up words tonight. Arguration. Living in a nation in a mindset of arguing. And if you look at the news, the folks, it's just about fighting. You look at your news feed, the things that grab people quickly is about fighting and arguing. What do you think your body is seeing and hearing and feeling? That the world is not a friendly place. So people don't live as long because the telomeres, they break off because the telomerase says that, look, we need to get up out of here. This is not a beautiful place. This is tough. It's stressful. Your telomeres are the parts of your chromosomes that are listening to you. It's listening to how you think, how you speak, how you act. And it's telling your cells, the telomeres are telling your cells what's happening in the environment. Shorter telomeres contribute to aging and age-related diseases. Healthy telomeres contribute to the delay of aging and the onset of chronic diseases. What causes telomere degradation? Oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, poor lifestyle habits, emotional stress, parasites, and exposure to toxins are the biggest accelerators of telomere degradation. I'm going to say that again. The exposure to toxins are the biggest accelerators of telomere degradation. How many of you are going to be in our class on Saturday? The Enemy Within, class 2. How many of you out there are going to be in our class on Saturday at 11 a.m.? The Enemy Within at 11 a.m. We're going to get deep into these toxins that are in our environment, in our homes, toxins in our minds, toxins on our skin that cause the parasites. They got telomeres too, y'all. When our body is toxic, the telomeres of the parasite, check it out. they become tight because the parasite loves drama. It doesn't have drama. It eats the energy of your drama and your trauma, and your toxins and your poisons are causing your immune system to not work very well, so that those parasites have a better environment. Because while your body is off fighting toxins, it can't fight toxins and parasites at the same time. Most of the time, your immune system can only do one or two things at a time. So it's distracted. So we're going to talk a lot about the toxins in our environment and how to alleviate some of those toxins. In class number 1, which we did last week, which is online right now, this is the Enemy Within, class number 1. We talked about the parasites that affect your thinking, parasites of the mind, parasites that affect your emotions, and how to win the war. Because we're using the art of war. And then when you use the art of war, you go in as a winner. So you need all the tools that you can. When you're dealing with a war, you already have to be a warrior and already see winning. You don't go into the fight hoping you can win. You go in winning in your mind, and there's no losing. Even if you lose the battle, you don't lose the war, because your body and your mind are connected and focused on the thing you would like to obtain, winning. If you've got toxins in your environment, and there's a lot of them you hadn't even thought about, then you're not winning, because you're breathing and living in a toxic environment, which is telling your telomeres that this person loves toxins. And they got a toxic personality. They got toxic habits, toxic attitudes. They're in toxic relationships. They have toxic conversations. They work a toxic job. They think toxic thoughts. They're involved in toxic love affairs. They got trauma bonds. They're bonded to anything that's traumatic. So that vibration in the waters of your body, the oceans of your body, the body is full of water. And information travels faster through water than it does through air and tissue. So that water in your body is picking up the vibration of how you are living, which affects the telomeres, but it also affects the parasite. And the parasite's telomeres, they become strengthened when you have more trash going on in your life. When you got more drama, pain, poisons happening in your life, parasites become strong. They got telomeres too, but their telomeres they're bound and wound for drama. So the more drama you have, the more trauma you have, the more poisons, the more toxins, and the further you are away from nature, that strengthens the parasites. Yeah, the parasite thing is deep. Whew. Where was I? Get back on track, Dr. B. I be getting off track. They told me, now, Dr. B, make sure you stay on track tonight. Sometimes you go off and you go on and on and on for 4 hours. You're losing people. Give it to them quick, give them to it good, and get off and give them some more tomorrow. That becomes challenging because I've got a lot to share and a lot to say. But I'm going to go back to my reading so I can stay on. Y'all all right? It's good to see you. Welcome. And for those of you who just came on, you're listening to the Dr. B Sirius show, where we're going to get deeper and deeper into who we are and who we're becoming. We're talking about the connection between telomeres, toxins, parasites, and the seasons. So we talked a bit about the season changing. And did you know when you go into certain seasons, your telomeres lengthen and shrink depending on the season? That's why a lot of folks get sick in fall, because their telomeres may be shrinking or shredding, or the telomere cap may be going through dissolvation. Is that a word? There's another one. Dissolvation. You know about dissolvation? I think I'm going to do a dictionary. Dissolvation. How many of you are in dissolvation? You're disavowing things, disavowing yourself. How many of you are disavowing your real self and who you really are? Do you know what stress that causes your body to live and not be who you really are? to constantly be dissolving the original you, the part of you that also disrespects the original you and disrespects your natural talents and your natural art because of what the society says to do? Let me tell you, the truth hurts. It does. For some folks, the truth is most likely we are not doing what we could and should be doing. And we keep telling ourselves that we're something we're not. We keep telling. So imagine your telomeres are telling your body or your cells that we got a problem because this person doesn't know who they are and they haven't told themselves and agreed with themselves and give themselves permission to be who they really could be and to be at peak performance. If you live too far in the past, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't fix it. So that's going to create these vibrations that are going to cause the telomeres to wear down because it's stressful for you to drag some old stuff from the past that was disagreeable that you cannot fix into the present. Now your current is off. And when your current is off, there's not enough electricity to send the right messages to your cells that we're here and alive. We're here right now. We're current in this season. You got to stay on the pulse of right now. It's challenging. I didn't say this was easy. Well, who said it was going to be easy? You want it easy? You just want to push an app? You want to just ask AI to fix everything for you? Or ask AI, hey, look, AI, I have a disease. You know, pretty soon you'll be able to hook yourself up to these electrodes. It's coming, right? I'm dealing with a certain disease, AI. Fix it. What do you think your telomeres are going to tell you then? Huh? Oh, yeah. Stay on track. Stay on track, Dr. B. You keep getting off track. Whew, I get so excited. What causes telomere degradation? Oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, poor lifestyle habits, emotional stress, parasites, and exposure to toxins are the biggest accelerators of telomere degradation. Things that can help protect the telomeres: antioxidant-rich diet, foods, fruits, vegetables, omega-3s, fatty acids, regular exercise, especially moderate aerobic activity, stress reduction, yoga, meditation, breath work. Breathing is so important. If you don't breathe deeply, the telomeres begin to break off. You haven't given them enough oxygen. You haven't given them enough time or enough electricity, because when you're breathing, you're creating an electrical flow, a currency. Do we breathe enough? Adequate, consistent sleep is important to help protect telomeres. Supportive social bonds and community. Didn't we say the blue zones? They have strong communities and they have social bonds. A lot of folks, they're bonded to the internet. They're bonded to their friends in their social circle on the internet. They're friends. They're social people you don't even really know. You're having a relationship with the created idea that they made that they present to you. Oh, I really like them. You don't even know them. You don't really know these people that you call friends and these followers. And you're looking for them to like you. That's okay if that's what you're into. But I'm telling you, that world is becoming more and more plastic, more and more fake. You can create any type of ID you want. You can put filters on. You might as well go the whole thing. I mean, people got fake heads, fake mask, and fake eyelashes, fake buttocks, fake hair. I mean, if you have some, physical issue, that's okay. But a lot of us, we were born winners, but we didn't like the way we looked. So we felt stressed out to follow the crowd. To follow the crowd. Somebody wants to know, what is the blue zone? What is a blue zone, or what is the blue zone in California? I'd like you to do a little research yourself. What is the blue zone in California? There's only one in America or United States. Look it up. Do a little research. Keep your telomeres. When you start learning new things, your telomeres start saying, yes, we're here, we're living. When you start being more creative, your telomeres start saying, yes, we're being creative. We're not asking machines to create everything for us. We use machines as tools, but you don't start letting them be creative for you, because then what are you here for? What are you living for? You have to excite yourself and create something new every day. Do something new. You're getting off, Dr. B. You're getting off. Things that help protect telomeres: maintaining a healthy weight and metabolism, reducing toxin exposure, and seasonal parasite detoxification. What do you mean, Dr. B? Seasonal parasite detoxification. If you don't do a seasonal detoxification program, do you know what happens? The body says, we're not in time. We're not current. We haven't detoxified from the season before us, the season we just went through. Something like this, the Elevated Total Body Program. This helps to detoxify you at a cellular level. This is a 28-day seasonal detoxification program that we have at elevationtime.com. It's one of the things we offer here. This helps to repair and rebuild the body, and helps your telomeres say you love yourself, and you're getting rid of old leaves, the leaves and things that you no longer need in your life. You're ready to let go. There is a definite connection between parasites and telomeres. Did you know this? Chronic inflammation. Parasitic infections trigger ongoing immune responses that accelerate telomere shortening. Oxidative stress. Parasites increase free radicals, which damage DNA and erode the telomeres. Immune cell exhaustion. Constant immune activation leads to faster telomere loss in white blood cells. Let me say that again. Immune cell exhaustion. Constant immune activation leads to faster telomere loss in white blood cells. Did you know that if you're living in drama, and if you've got a bad attitude, or you're living in fear, or you're always worried about things that have nothing to do with you, and you're gossiping, and you're not living your best life in yourself, for yourself, with yourself, by yourself, without worrying about what everybody else is doing, when you're in mass distraction, when you don't stay focused, your immune system comes on and begins to fight. What is it fighting? You. If your immune system doesn't have something else to attack, it'll attack you, because you're in fight or flight. Because you're distracted, because you're upset, because somebody put up a post that you was upset. Something was on the news that upset you, and you become so upset about so many things. You are upset. And people are being antagonized. There's a movie right now I just started watching, MK Ultra. Have y'all seen this movie? About the experiments they did on people and their nervous systems and their brains, using psychedelic drugs, not psychedelic, natural psychedelics, psychedelic drugs to trigger people. And one of the things that Timothy Leary says in the documentary, it's actually a movie, but it's like a documentary. He says that the 3-letter organizations, I'm not going to say their names, they created the conscious community. I was like, what? I started thinking, what is the conscious community? We think that's the conscious community, the ones that, what does the conscious community do? What does it mean to be conscious? Is there unconscious community and a conscious community? And what are the symptoms of the unconscious community? What are the ways of the unconscious community? What are the ways of the conscious community? We need to create an awareness community, because we have so much antagonization, there's that word again, antagonization with each other. We're fighting even in the conscious community, arguing who's right, who's wrong, what to believe, what not to believe. The same thing in religion, who's right, who's wrong, what to believe, what not to believe. The same thing in politics, who's right, who's wrong. And it's all about fear, the fear of missing out. This energy is a parasitic energy. That energy weakens the body and lets the parasites have free domain and will over your body. I'm talking about systemic parasites, not the ones in your colon. We're talking about the ones that live in your mind and your brain, the ones that live in your liver, your kidneys, the spleen, and your every organ of your body, the thymus, the thymoid. There's a new organ, the thyroid. These are all regulating functions of the body that are off. These are computer clocks that are off. Why are they off? Because there's so many toxins that we're taking in, and the parasites are putting out toxins because they have waste. They pooping and shitting and pissing all inside you. You heard it. I said it. Tell the children to leave the room. They know what these words mean. So it's a war going on. You have got to get the principle of the art of war. That's why we're having the class this Saturday. The enemy within. The true enemy is the one within you. We are doing things to shorten our telomeres. So we're not living as long. We're not living as healthy. We're not living as happy and joyful as we could be because we're freaked out. We keep talking about what they're doing. The enemy. The real enemy is within you. You could turn off all this stuff and take a break. Go for a walk in the woods. Do things to calm down and stop believing in everything that every post. We believe everything. Well, I saw it was on the internet. It's the truth. What do you mean it's the truth? What is the truth? It's a scientific fact. What is a scientific fact? Even the scientists don't agree with each other. They just like the conscious community, the political community, the religious community. Most scientists don't even agree, don't see each other eye to eye, or don't even know each other. There's so much that we just go along with that causes us to go through stress because some of it doesn't even make any sense, but we're trying to make sense of it by living in our heads. We got to get into the body, and fall is the best time to get in your body. It's the best time to get grounded, to get down and go inward like the trees are doing. Let that energy go inward. Let some of that heat off, some of that energy that we have built up over the year. Parasite and telomere effects. Seasonal detoxification is essential, especially in the fall. Somebody said, please, can you put the slide up of the cleanse again? Okay. How's that? Seasonal detoxification is essential, especially in the fall. Fall concentrates on nourishing and strengthening the body in preparation for winter. According to traditional Chinese medicine, the fall element is metal. Yeah. You need metal. You need minerals. The most important mineral? Iron. Maybe I got a slide of it. Let's see. There we go. No, that's not it. No. There we go. The most important mineral in fall is iron. Most of us are anemic. We don't get enough nascent, natural iron that's been absorbed by plants. That's what nascent means. It means that it's natural to you, something you can absorb. You can't absorb an iron rod or a piece of, rusty iron. You need a special type of iron that's been broken down and dissolved by plants or by the soil or by the friendly bacteria in the soil that create and break down minerals. You see? Iron is essential. Iron has a lot to do with strength and courage and being encouraging and being creative. And iron is important to feed your blood cells so that they can transport oxygen and other nutrients into the cells. If you don't have enough iron, your decision making is off. If you don't have iron, you may not be able to say no when you need to say no. A whole lot of times we need to say no. No, no, thank you. 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 A lot of times we be saying yes, 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 because a lot of us have chronic servitude syndrome. And if somebody offers you something, you got to say yes. Somebody offers you a candy apple. What the hell is a candy apple? Do you know what happens when you eat a candy apple? We ate these as children. Fruit and high fructose corn sugar, red dye, number whatever, and preservatives. And we would crunch into this thing. A lot of y'all maybe don't know, unless you've been to like the circus or something like that. A candied apple. Why would you put these two things together? You're not even supposed to put fruit and proteins in your body at the same time. Did you know that? You're not even supposed to put fruit and vegetables in your body at the same time. The body gets confused. The immune system goes crazy trying to break this down. What is it? The nervous system says, there is a problem because this person is nuts. You don't eat fruit and animal product at the same time, or even fruit and vegetables, especially in the fall. That's what makes people fall down. Their immune systems are under stress. They're working overtime, trying to figure out what is making you as crazy as you are. You eat fruit by itself. Wait at least a half an hour. You eat green vegetables and vegetables by themselves. Now, you could eat those with a piece of meat if you got to eat the meat. But, you know, a lot of people who eat meat going to end up meeting their maker a whole lot of times, you know, faster than they should, because the meat is so toxic and has been, you don't even know where it's from. You don't know. You tell me, what does fresh mean? It's fresh meat. What does fresh mean? You mean this thing could have been stored in a missile silo. That's where they store a lot of food. In a missile silo. So it's already got the vibration of radiation and all kinds of the energy of bombs in the silo. That's where they store a lot of food. You don't know. You're walking in the store blind, deaf, dumb, and hungry, salivating. I'm so hungry, I gotta eat. You know what happens when you go in the store hungry? You try to buy up everything. Eat a bunch of vegetables, a big salad before you go in the store. You won't buy so much stuff. In fact, you'll go to the farmer's market. Somebody could sample that and put that in the record. Put that on the rap record. Farmer's market. Farmer's market. I can't do it because I can't rap. You know, I can play the music, but I can't rap it. Farmer's market. This is the time to be at the farmer's market in the fall, in the autumn. This weekend, they're open all across the United States, because that's going to center you in the moment, and it's going to tell your body that you're ready for the season, and your body is going to become what? It's going to become current, and the electricity from these electrical live living foods is going to rejuvenate you, so when you go into fall, you don't slip, and your immune system doesn't go into, alert, destroying everything. And the parasites, which are waiting for you to slip, because they know most people slip because they still want to have watermelon at Thanksgiving. Don't even sound right. But a lot of foods that, you can get at the grocery store at any time are going to cause a problem, because you got to live within the season. I'm getting off. Metal. We need iron in the fall. Iron. So we have this product, Iron Essential, elevationtime.com. Okay. All right. Somebody says, Dr. B, what is the discount code? All right, let's put the discount code up. There you go. Elevation Time. You go to elevationtime.com, and anything that you purchase right now, $99 or over, if you use the fall 25 discount code, you'll get 10% off of everything in your cart, $99 or more, until Sunday at midnight. There's your discount code. Oh, and by the way, if you're in Atlanta, I'm going to be at the Veggie Fest. Is that what it's called? I think it's called the Veggie Fest. Some people say he don't even know where he's going to be. You know how much is going on. We need people to help us. Stay in tune with what's happening. But yes, I've been invited to be on a panel at the Veggie Taste. It's called the Veggie Taste, 15th annual Veggie Taste, and that's going to be at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, and that's in the West End of Atlanta. That's on Saturday from 2 to 7 p.m. From 2 to 7, I'll be there. I'll be on a panel. I won't be there right at 2 because I'll be finishing up the class, The Enemy Within, which most of you will be in that class. It's a free class. It teaches you about the art of war and how to protect your body. Dr. B, you keep getting off. So metal, iron is important for this particular season, to have enough iron so that your body's immune system is strong, so that you're encouraged to be more strong. You're courageous. You feel without iron, this is what weakens most people. We don't have enough iron in North America. You need that nutrient more than anything. And most people are anemic. And when you're anemic, what happens? Your mood is off. You start saying yes to things that you need to say no to. You don't know when to walk away. You're emotional. You got mood swings, and you know what I'm saying? You're forgetful. You leave home with an idea and a mantra, and you're halfway to go handle business. You forget who you are. Iron helps you remember who you are. Iron Essential is at elevationtime.com. According to the Chinese medicine, the emotions that are tied to the seasons of the fall are unresolved grief, anxiety, and sadness. A lot of people suddenly start getting sad and feeling unresolved grief. A lot of folks are unresolved with the grief. They think they got over it, but they really didn't. Breathing helps you move through grieving because, the grief is held in the lungs and also in the large intestine. Sadness, anxiety, all those connected to the lungs and the large intestine. So we've got to keep them moving. And that's why cleansing and detoxification at this time is important, because the parasites know what season it is, and they know which organs and which emotions are going on in your body, because they're parasites. They live next to you. They live beside you. This season is connected to the large intestine and the lungs. So detoxification is important. Breathing is important. Iron Essential is good for this season. It helps with oxygen, immune system, strength, courage, mood, emotions, and stress. In Ayurvedic principles, which is the medicine of India, the traditional medicine of India is called Ayurveda, fall is governed by Vata energy. And Vata energy is dry and cold, because you have to remember that we hold on to a lot of heat in our bodies from the summer. We've got to dispel that heat. We got to let some of that heat go by eating cooling foods. This is why we eat root fruits. Those are fruits. That's another word, fruits of the fall. Eating fall foods, especially beets, potatoes, yams, and those Japanese sweet potatoes. Have y'all had the Japanese sweet potatoes? You don't need no butter, no margarine. The Japanese sweet potato is white on the inside. They cook quick. Oh my gosh. Whoo! Japanese sweet potatoes. I wonder if they really come from Japan, or did Japan go to somewhere else to get them and brought them and planted them in Japan, and now they call them Japanese. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm just saying a few things. I'll be talking some talk sometime. Okay, stay on point. Stay on point, Dr. B. Stay on point. Did I get a text telling me to stay? Yep, I did. They're telling me, Dr. B, you're getting a little wild. I am wild. Okay. Warming foods are important to nourish us at this time of year. Warming foods. Roots, anything that's roots, burdock roots. Have y'all had burdock root? What they call gobo. Has a lot of iron, helps to balance the blood. Gobo. That's how it's spelled. Gobo. but it's also called burdock root. They're long and skinny. They're almost like a long, skinny carrot type thing. Really, really good. They taste sweet. And you could just chew them. You could just put them in your salad, cut them up. Sweet potatoes, pumpkins, pumpkins right now, all of the pumpkins or the gourds, they all have a lot of zinc in their seeds. Pumpkin seeds have a lot of zinc. Zinc is really important for your immune system at this time of year. That's why the jack-o'-lantern is important for what holiday do they use it on? Thanksgiving? No, thanks Christmas, or is it All Hallows Eve, Halloween? The jack-o'-lantern, Jah is God. Jack-o'-lantern means the lantern or the light of God. Did you know this? And you put the jack-o'-lantern on your porch with a candle in it to keep the evil spirits that are lurking at the time of trick or treat. Then you hollow out the jack-o'-lantern and you take the pumpkin seeds traditionally and you heat them at a very low temperature in your oven, and you salt them and eat the pumpkin seeds. And those pumpkin seeds have zinc, and the zinc has the electricity, it has the vibration, it has the energy and the currency to give you a strong immune system through the winter months. And if you've got parasites in your colon, they're very good for that. Not systemic parasites. Now we're talking about only ones in the colon. Pumpkin seeds are good for that. And they are happening right now. So most of the pumpkins and the squashes, that whole family, is the food that you right now need to keep you warm and to give you more currency, more electricity. Sweet potatoes and yams are a part of this seasonal food that's going to strengthen you and ground you in this season. Beets. Oh, get those big black beets. They've got lots. That opens up your blood vessels. It helps you breathe better. Just take the beets. You can take the beets. I take the beets and I cut off the skins and everything. And I cut them up and I put them in the blender fill the blender up with water. Have y'all done this? And put a piece of ginger in there, in the blender, and blend it up. You got to have a good blender to do this. Otherwise, if you get that, that one that was buy one, get 3 free, those blenders don't work too long. You need a strong blender. Invest in a strong blender. How to create my own blender. Write that down. Somebody write that down. Dr. B's blender. That'll be great. Anyway, get back on course. Blend up your beets with ginger. The ginger is going to be warming and help with circulation. The beets are giving you iron and that dark pigment, which is far infrared light. Far infrared light tells your cells to protect themselves. Anything that's deep purple is a protective frequency, and those fruits and those vegetables that are dark purple, they have far infrared light, and far infrared light helps to boost your immune system, especially in the fall. And then you take that and you strain it into another, like a pitcher. And then if you need to sweeten it, some people don't have to sweeten it. You can, but if you want to use something like monk fruit, is one of the best sweeteners. What else? 100% maple syrup. Be careful. Make sure you get the dark one. That could be good if you need to sweeten it a little. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to use any white sugar, any processed sugar, or you're not going to use any brown sugar on anything unless you would like to be weak this winter, because that sugar is going to erode your system, and it tells your telomeres that you don't like yourself, that you're crazy, that you've lost your mind, and you're thinking of a candy apple mindset and a cotton candy brain, and you have snapped, and the telomeres start telling the body this person is crazy. So we ain't going to stick around. Give them some major disease, because we need to get out of here and get back to the earth. And maybe when we become humans back in the soil, maybe we can come back as another being. But right now we've been born into the wrong being. So sweeten it with something that's natural, something that your body can recognize, that it can use as energy not something that takes energy from your body. Foods rich in fiber, like apples and pears, jujube dates, y'all, and the yellow dates. Yep, right now the yellow dates are in season. One of my favorite foods. We must align with the natural rhythms of the season. There's a rhythm in nature. There's a whole thing happening between all the animals and all the different things that are in the natural world. They're in harmony. It's a song. The nature song is amazing. If you could hear it. Somebody said raw honey. You better be careful with raw honey now. Make sure it's raw. How do you know it's raw? Because it's got the beehive and everything in it. A couple bees caught in there too. That's the real honey. But, a lot of folks don't want it that way. They want it clear. I don't want to see bees in there. Well, you don't know what you're getting because most of the honey in America is not even honey. It's high fructose corn syrup and a couple other things that they've cooked down. And this high fructose corn syrup tells your cells to die. It kills your cells. It tells your telomeres that you are not worth living. You're telling your body by what you eat and how you act and what you let into your mindset and who you mate with, who you chill with, who you call your friends, and what ideas you're taking in from the world and the mass distraction. And all this stuff says we have lost our natural order. We're out of rhythm. We're not in rhythm with nature. We're not in rhythm with ourselves. And we're definitely not trying to get rich and wealthy. You might be trying to get rich, but you're not going to be wealthy. These people that's rich got a lot of money, but they're not wealthy because their health is off. How's your health? We're never going to be 100% breathing this air, drinking this water, but we could get close. And a lot of it has to do with your relationships with food, your relationships with friends, your relationships with politics, your relationships with religion. Your relationship with the seasons is most important because this is the real true holiday. So Sunday is a true holiday. A holy day, a day when you are supposed to atone and become balanced, because that's what happens on the equinox. You have a chance to become equally atoned with yourself. But first, you got to atone for all the stuff that you've done and let that stuff go and tune up with what's happening now. And most of the products that we make at Elevation are called tonics and elixirs. Why? Because they tonify the body. They put you in the frequency of the season. Every season has a frequency. Every season has a sound. Go outside at night in the summer and listen to the sounds. You can even record them on your iPhone or whatever kind of phone you got. Then go in the fall. Right now, the sound is different. I was listening today and I thought it was raining. I was sitting on the porch doing some stuff and I heard this. I said, is it raining? I was looking for raindrops. No raindrops. They were leaves. The leaves were making this sound. Then the other night, the owl was saying, hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hoo, 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 hoo. Then the tweeters, these little birds and these little things. Nature is singing, it's talking to you, telling you to wake up, get into the season. If you listen to the sounds of nature, that's the real music. Not the music on the radio. Spotify. I mean, come on now. We really got caught up in some stuff here. Did you hear the new law that says if you put your songs on Spotify, Spotify owns them? Yeah, I'm in the music thing. I can't call it the industry no more. It's the thing. If you put your songs on Spotify, Spotify says we can edit them, cut them, we can use them, we can sell them, we can license them, and it ain't yours no more. What? Whew. Okay. Dr. B, leave that alone. You know what? I need some iron. Because this iron gets you balanced real quick. So we're about to go into part 2 here. Don't do that at home. Use your dropper. You know what I'm saying? Use your dropper. One dropper is one squeeze. It comes up about an inch. Most of the products that we make, it says take 3 dropperfuls. Woo! Woo, that's good. Let me try something else. Platinum Life Elixir. Have y'all tried platinum with iron? Those two together, the Platinum Life. Man, they sealing the heck about these products nowadays. You know, we got a new team here. Some new folks on the team, and they making sure the stuff is tight. I can't even open it. There we go. Platinum Life. This keeps you focused. Helps your pineal have the right frequency. Helps you get rid of heavy metals. Helps you get very creative and stay focused on who you are. Helps with your intuition. That and iron, Platinum Life Elixir and iron. Maybe I shouldn't have took it now because they say I only got a half hour left. When I take that platinum and iron, whew, wow. You know, Dr. B, you something else. And I was listening to a couple of my talks the other day. And I said, this is a wild dude. I'm out there. You know, I figured it out. I said, I am not a regular human being. I don't even know where I am. I don't know what's happening. Where am I? I got dropped off. I'm the man that fell to earth. But I'm here. And we're all, right? Somebody else when we think we are. When you think you're yourself, when you're going into your true self, you become home. It's about coming and getting home. And the way you stay at home is to make sure that your telomeres are being fed the frequency and the energy that they need to tell your cells, to tell your genes that you're here and you'd like to be here for a long time and stay healthy. At the same time, you've got to let those parasites know their time is up. Not just the ones in your colon. That's simple. We're talking about the ones that live throughout the body. And that's why we have the Elevated Total Body Program, which is a 28-day detoxification program. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Also, you've got to be in the season. If we're in fall right now, you've got to let things fall, let things go, and stay connected to this season and this time and get grounded and eat the foods that you should eat in this time. Take the herbs that you should take in this time and have these new relationships that you get bonded to in this time. Your frequency and your currency at this time is important because this particular season is important now because it's 2026 about to go into 2025. Is this 2026? What year is this? No, it's not going into 20. See, listen to him. He's wild. He don't even have his dates right. I don't know. These calendars look funny. But in 2027, they say everything changes. Everything changes in 2027. This is 2025. Is this 2025? See, y'all think I'm joking. Sometimes I get confused and mixed up with the dates because they keep changing them. Keep one date and we'll be all right. I love eating dates. We are at a time when the earth, its vibration is speeding up. That means that your telomeres are vibrating at a faster rate. Your cells are vibrating. Every organ of your body is vibrating at a higher rate. Your mind is vibrating at a higher rate. The earth and every plant, every seed, every leaf, every mushroom, even the rocks, this whole place, this whole quadrant is vibrating at a higher rate. The quickening is when everything is vibrating, the earth is spinning at a higher rate, things are happening faster. This is when we're supposed to awaken from the deep 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 year sleep. There was a 6,000 year sleep that we have just awakened from. But a lot of folks are going to stay asleep because they're eating foods that keep them asleep. They're in relationships that keep them asleep. They're so mass distracted by the internet, they're just going to stay asleep. People can't think on their own anymore. They don't know what to feel. They can't tap into the gut vibration because a lot of times your gut sometimes is so toxic. What are you eating? What you're eating is what you're thinking. You are what you eat. You eat shit, you become shitty. A lot of folks got a shitty attitude. They're numb and fake, being plastic and having a polyvinyl mindset. It's the new thing to be fake and not be real. That's going to take you out. That means people are dying and they're thinking and living themselves to death. Does that make sense? So your life's path has a lot to do with what you expect. Your life expectancy has to do with what you think. It's not just what they told you about life and how long they said you should live. Life expectancy has also to do with what you expect out of life. And you're getting what you're expecting and what you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on the drama and what is not good and how bad it is and how it's the end of the world, you're dying because the world is not the earth. The world is not the earth, y'all. That's your world. The world is your mindset. The earth is different than the world. Whew. Take a little heaven on earth right now. You've got to create heaven on earth. You don't wait for it to happen. You've got to create heaven on earth right now in your mindset. And you do that by staying in the season. The equinox and the fall season is the perfect time to get grounded so that you can move into the winter, the cold months with lots of energy. A lot of folks, their energy has been sucked away by the parasites of the world. Not just the parasite bugs, the parasite people. Parasite ideas, parasite laws, parasite governments, parasite friendships, parasite relationships, eating you alive. A lot of us don't have enough of the nutrients to stay strong. That's why I say iron is very important. Platinum is very important so you can begin to use your creativity and your imagination and stop letting the machines be creative for you. Use them as tools, but you need to have your own mindset about what you'd like to create. We live in a parasitic society. Dog eat dog, man eat woman, woman eat man, people eat people, race eat race. That's a whole nother thing. Race eat race. What was the movie Planet of the Apes? Ape must never kill ape. A man said, but you are not an ape. You got to watch those movies. Science fiction movies be having a lot of facts in them. But it's important for you to create heaven on earth. So we have this product, Heaven on Earth. Ooh, this tastes good. This is the first time I tasted a new batch. Dr. B, you make some good tasting stuff. It's supposed to only take 3 droppers full. I've lost count. You know, the dropper be getting on my nerves. Don't do that at home. You'll feel too good. Folks start looking at you funny. Yeah, Doc, what's wrong with you? You feeling too good? Why are you so happy and joyful? Because I'm living life. What about you? How would you like to live life? How many of y'all would like to really live life? I'm inviting you to live some real life. This season is important because of the way the energy of the earth is speeding up. We're moving towards 2027. And in 2027, there's a polar flip and everything changes. That's why the powers at be are doing everything they can to confuse you, to delude you. Is that a word? To delude you? To keep you in delusion, to keep you living in Maya and things that you can't believe, that you want to believe, but they're not real. And you're mass distracted. There's so many things pulling you, so many conversations. You're looking at that screen, and that screen is just telling you. And those colors in that screen, millions of colors, the frequencies that are coming from this screen in this phone. I'm looking at my phone right now. Your ancestors never saw these kind of colors before. They never saw this because it's not based on nature. It's artificial. It's artificial intelligence taking over your brain and encoding your brain to keep you dumb. So you got to take a break from the phone. You got to take a break from the screen. I put my phone on black and white or grayscale a lot of times. So those colors aren't, encoding my brain. People use the phone before bed and they really never get to sleep. Their eyes are closed, but they never really sleep. They're tired. A lot of people have iron poor, tired blood. A lot of folks are so tired because they're not getting enough natural nutrients, not enough love, not enough new ideas, not enough creativity. But you get to create that heaven in the earth that you are. Heaven on earth. It helps to create peace, love, and harmony within yourself. You can't wait for someone to give that to you. You have to become it. Do you feel me now? Become the heaven. Create the heaven on your earth. What are you wearing? What kind of clothes? We're going to talk about that on Saturday. What are these things you're spraying in your house to clean your house? What kind of scents does using a senseless scent, a senseless scent to make your house smell flowery? And the smell half the time, if it's coming from a can or a bottle, that is not natural. And if you plug this into your AC outlet to make your house smell good, what smells bad that you really need to notice? You don't want to smell nothing bad. If you could smell stuff, you would go find out what smells bad. Because if you got something funky up in your house, you need to go get it. Just don't plug something in to cover it up. If your body smells funky, you're going to wear all these different perfumes. There's over 300 and something chemicals in the average perfume. The average incense that you burn that you think is natural is made from petroleum products, from oil. Did you know that? Are you aware of the products that you're putting on your child and on your body? Half of these lotions are actually killing you. It's telling your telomeres that you don't love yourself, and it tells the parasites to come out and eat. What you wear affects the parasites, affects your immune system. So the immune system is inundated with drama and trauma and poison and pain and toxins every day. We are mass distracted from every angle, from everything, from the environment. So we've got to create an environment, at least in our homes, that's more natural. This fall, let's get balanced. Are you ready? Somebody said, but Dr. B, do you do consultations? Yes, I am doing consultations again. I am doing consultations. So if you're interested in a consultation, in fact, I just was asked today to do an in-home consultation. I don't do too many of these because sometimes I go in people's houses, and if I take 3 breaths, I could be taken out because the people's house, the average person has toxic home syndrome because of the products they use, the things they got stored under the cabinets. And the things that they think are natural, they might be naturally occurring poison. It's a natural product. A natural occurring poison is a natural product. There are toxins that are naturally occurring that man-made. They occur naturally because it's natural for you to walk in the store and buy them, and you think that it's good. Natural scent. Read the ingredients. We're going down the list on Saturday. We're going to show you how you are the enemy within your own self. And you're looking out, talking about what they did and what the government did. Look what they're doing, Dr. B. Look at what you're doing. Who are you being? What are you eating? What are you thinking? Who are you making love with? What are you spending your time? What are you wearing? Huh? What are you wiping your behind with? What are you doing? You are the one that has to be the one to become responsible. Now we got a good amount of people on here, huh? Dr. B's, he's going somewhere. I'm going where I've never gone before. And I'm going to cover some information right now before we close the night out that I've never covered this way before. And I have to be very careful and say that I am not a medical doctor. I have none of the 3-letter I'm none of the 3-letter names. I haven't gone to any of the 3-letter universities and gotten any of their certificates. What I have learned is based on actual references. See, a reference is an idea, but a referent is actual facts. I've had actual things happen in my life, in my family's life, in our family, and I've been doing this health thing now for seems like forever. So I, as an herbalist, put together products that can help us heal our bodies and our minds. You got to heal both at the same time. You just can't work on the body and not work on the mind and the spirit, because a lot of the illnesses that we have started in the electrical world, started in our minds, started in our mindset. Did you know that one of the number one reasons or causes of prostate cancer is the idea of it? Did you know that one of the number one causes of cancer is the idea of it? Did you know the number one issue that we have is our mindset about diseases and how they run in families? It's in our minds. I'm not saying all the diseases in our minds. I said the beginning of it is our thought process. We think sick. That's a book, Think Sick. Somebody write that down. By Dr. B, Think Sick. We ponder on it. We think about it. And we keep hearing about our loved ones, how sick they are and what they got. So I'm probably going to get it too because I'm in the family. Now, you may not think that consciously, but your subconscious mind is also connected to the family. And you say, well, if they all had it, I probably got it too. Because somebody told you that your genes, right? The jeans you're wearing is the jeans that your parents wore. No, your genes are listening to the environment. Your genes are expressing themselves based on the environment. Please, on Saturday, be there with your pencils, your pens, your tablets. That's at 11 a.m. on Saturday. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mention some illnesses or some imbalances that we hear a lot about here at Elevation. And I'm going to tell you what we offer for that. What we have seen traditionally or what we have heard from our clients has helped these disease states. I'm not suggesting, I'm not prescribing, I'm giving you information on certain disease states and what folks have purchased or donated into Elevation, because basically we're a, that's a whole thing. We're a foundation. Heart disease, high blood pressure, they're connected. As you know, heart disease, they say, is one of the number one illnesses in America. And it's because so many people are not living in their heart. They're not doing what they truly came here to do. And that stresses out the telomeres of the heart. And it excites the parasites. When you're not being who you came to be, you're strengthening the toxic vibration in your body because you're not being currently in love. High blood pressure, a lot of times we're under stress. The kidneys become clogged with grease from animal products. That grease that doesn't break down at 98.6 degrees. I need some water. I need a little more shot of this quassia. I'll take a hit of that in a minute. Heart disease and high blood pressure are connected. And it has to do with the way that the blood vessels become hardened. And inside, there are cells inside of every blood vessel that are sometimes damaged from stress, from food. And we realize that most folks that have heart disease have toxins and they have parasites. Parasites will cause your blood pressure to be high. It will also cause heart disease. So what we offer for folks who are dealing with heart disease is the total body or the elevated. Where's the elevated? Let's see. There we go. The elevated total body program. Not just that, but also heaven on earth to relax them. Because when you're relaxed, your blood vessels relaxed. That helps your blood. A lot of folks have high blood pressure because they're stressed out. Not everybody, but a lot of them also are eating foods because they're stressed out that are hardening their blood vessels or putting the bad cholesterol, the grease, the waxy material from a lot of foods like, animal products. That grease becomes hardened in the walls of their blood vessels. High blood pressure, but also mass distraction. You see what I'm saying? Listening to music that is causing you stress. A lot of folks don't realize that the music they're listening to is causing them stress, even though they love the song. I love that song. Listen, I love that beat. But the rhythm and the sound of it and everything in your body is antagonistic. There's a war going on in your body as you listening to this song that you love, as you eat this food that you love, as you're involved with this relationship and watching these things go on in the news, all this stuff. You love it, but your body is saying, we don't need to be here that long. So the telomere cap begins to break, and the parasites are now eating their behinds off. They're not eating, they're eating your behind off because you're strengthening the parasites based on your mindset. That's a big thing. Don't think because you're all calm and clear and you do yoga, you don't have parasites. Everybody got them. This is the time to do an elevated total body program, or some folks are doing what we call the total body program. I'll show you the difference in just a little bit. Okay. So for high blood pressure and heart disease, I would suggest, or I would do the elevated total body program, heaven on earth to calm you down, and iron essential. A lot of folks with high blood pressure don't have enough iron, so the body is hungry. It's the frequency of the body is off, and if it doesn't have enough iron, you're not getting enough oxygen. If you're not getting enough oxygen, you're not getting enough respiration, and your body can't detoxify itself because your body is trying to hold on to everything. So we got to open up the channels of elimination. When you have enough iron, when your body is relaxed and you have enough heaven on earth, and you're into cleansing and detoxification, many times we have noticed people's heart disease and high blood pressure either goes away or lessens. Diabetes, the elevated total body program. X factor. Why X factor with diabetes? Because a lot of folks that have diabetes actually have a virus that has broken the receptors off of its cells, and the cell, the sugar receptor or the glucose receptor may be damaged because of a virus. And they say right now, almost everybody's got viruses in their system. I mean, everybody does actually. And that virus that happened a few years ago, everybody's got it through shedding. So X factor, right? Where's my X factor? X factor helps to, alleviate a lot of that, what we call viral load. Let me drink the quassia. Oh, wow. That quassia is deep. Quassia is in the elevated total body program, by the way. It's actually in both the total body and the elevated total body program. And what quassia does is it's high in quinine. This cup is a special material, a special type of wood. When you put water in it and you let it sit, the quinine in the wood actually goes into the water. And when you drink that quinine helps to detoxify from certain types of parasites. Some of us have malaria at a very low level, or what they call the vapor or energy of malaria because of the mosquitoes. You may not have full-blown malaria, but you may have the energy of malaria. Also, quassia is one of the things that we help to detoxify from toxoplasma. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So for diabetes, we would take the elevated total body program and add to it X factor, heaven on earth, iron essential, and blood sugar powder. The blood sugar powder has the things like the true cinnamon or cinnamon ceylon and other ingredients that help to normalize blood sugar. But we also got to make sure we're using the X factor to get rid of a lot of the viral load that is hitting those cells or making those receptors break, because the receptors, most of the body will regrow itself after you get rid of some of the toxicity or some of the poison or some of the biology or some of the microbes or parasites that are causing the situation. Arthritis. Notice almost everything I'm going to tell you is going to always say cancel, cut, delete. Breathe, Dr. B. Almost every product, every situation of health that we're going to mention, I suggest the elevated total body program to be the leading force, because if you got parasites, you can't fix nothing. If you've got parasites throughout your body, systemic parasites, everything that you do is only going to be to a minimum, because the parasites are causing a problem. And if you got parasites, your telomeres are going to be short. If your telomeres are going to be short, your life is going to be short. Your body's not going to heal as quickly. If you don't have enough iron, then the body can't be strong enough to push enough oxygen into your cells to detoxify. Arthritis, the elevated total body program. Heaven on earth, because people with arthritis are not relaxing. They're always in stress. They're not flexible. Iron, you need iron with arthritis. Yes, you can't repair anything without having high amounts of iron in the body. An X factor, a lot of folks who have arthritis have viruses, and they have pathogens that are in their joints, especially what they call ethnospecific pathogens, which are parasites or bugs or biology that was created during weapons, war, germ warfare. Yes, that's what a superbug is. A lot of the superbugs are bugs that were made in labs during germ warfare. They're in the environment everywhere. I don't care how well you eat. You're breathing this air. You're bathing in this water. Wait till you hear what we're going to be talking about on Saturday. It's mind-blowing. And don't forget, go back and get, class number 1. The Enemy Within, class number 1, The Enemy Within. It's online right now. We did that last Saturday. We're doing part 2 on this Saturday. Part 3 is next Saturday, and part 4 is the Saturday after that. So it's a 4-part series called The Enemy Within, so we can get to the point where we know the art of war and how to deal with our environment internally, how to change our lives, how to become wealthy, how to have better love, how to have better focus, better clarity, have a better life while you're here. So for arthritis, once again, the elevated total body program. In fact, why am I not showing this? I think I wrote this down. Yeah, let's start over. We got a few minutes. We got about 10 minutes. Heart disease and high blood pressure, the elevated total body program, Heaven on Earth, and Iron Essential. Diabetes, and this is pre-diabetics too. Heaven on elevated total body program, X Factor, Heaven on Earth, and Iron Essential, and the blood sugar powder. That blood sugar powder is amazing. Arthritis, elevated total body program, Heaven on Earth, Iron Essential, X Factor for viruses. Cold, flu, and allergy. A lot of folks are getting this new allergy and this new cold. It's like a hybrid cold flu allergy season. It's happening quick. A lot of folks are all of a sudden, boom, it just hits you. You feel it in your throat. Your breathing gets off. You start having this extra mucus. Sirius Defense is for colds and allergies and a bit of the upper respiratory symptoms you get from flus. It's an upper respiratory tonic. It's called Sirius Defense at elevationtime.com. Also, elevated total body program or the total body program. That's for colds, flu, and allergy. ED. This one is at a level right now. I don't know if we've had so many issues with the prostate, erectile dysfunction, so many sexual imbalances or reproductive organ imbalances. This thing is at an all-time high. So what is that? Timeless Manus. Man, I was typing fast, wasn't I? Timeless Manus. That's a new thing. It's actually called Timeless Man. There's a product called Timeless Man. Now, if you get the elevated total body program or the total body program, the Timeless Man is in it. You see, it comes in that program. Okay. It's part of it. The women get something called sacred womb that comes in the female program. The male program and the female program are different because we have different biology and we have different biorhythms. People are different. So for ED, Timeless Man helps to repair the hormones in the circulatory system of the reproductive organs. Rise and Shine doesn't fix anything. Rise and Shine helps you rise and shine for the occasion. This is like immediate. This is when you got 15 minutes to get your business cracking and get your flagpole together because it's time to become the plumber. You got to be careful with this rise and shine now because sometimes you could go a little too far and you snapped and you've handled your business, but your business is still not handled and you're standing at attention and everybody else is asleep. Be careful. Rise and shine is crazy. That is for the immediate issue. It is not fixing things. It is not repairing. It's not tonifying like the Timeless Man. So the Rise and Shine is like what they call the blue pill, but it's all natural. Also, Platinum Life Elixir. Platinum Life Elixir will get you to get your mind imagining what you desire. And, you know, I'm going to mention too, I didn't put it on here, but for a lot of men, Heaven on Earth would help if they're having sexual, because a man needs to be relaxed. When a man is not relaxed, he can't get it together. When a man is focused on a whole lot of other things, guess what? You know, attention goes up to the brain. All the blood goes up upstairs when you need the blood to be downstairs. So sometimes Heaven on Earth would really help you, a man relax. And women too. You know, sometimes women, their minds all over the place. Women can think about 5 different things at one time. So Heaven on Earth helps you relax so you can get into the moment so you can be current right now in the fall. Platinum Life Elixir helps people with staying focused on what they desire, staying focused with their imagination. It helps your pineal gland focus on what's in front of you. Also, if you've got a lot of heavy metals and things like aluminum and all that, mercury in your system, the platinum helps to pull those heavy metals out of the body. And a lot of folks are having sexual dysfunction because of heavy metal toxicity. Who has it? Most people. If you're breathing air, it's in the air. Okay. Depression, grief, and sadness, which is big right now, especially in the fall season. The Elevated Total Body Program. If you've got parasites, you're going to be sad. You're going to be dysfunctional all the way around. Heaven on Earth. We talked about that earlier. Iron. If you don't have enough iron, you'll feel sad, depressed, and grief and sadness will just take over you. There's a product called Passion, y'all. Passion helps you become passionate about what you desire, passionate about who you are. Passion elixirs for men and women. Now, if you're in a love relationship, then it makes you more passionate about the love and being loving. But it also is an aphrodisiac for your heart so that you can be more into the love of yourself, for the love of you. If you don't love yourself enough, then there's no way you're going to be as creative as you could be right now. You're never going to be tied into the season like you could be. Also for depression, grief, and sadness, Platinum Life Elixir. Platinum Life. So these are ideas and combinations that, you know, you could use to help keep you in the season, to help keep you focused, to help keep you loving and aware. So I have Quick Fix. Somebody mentioned Quick Fix? Oh, yeah. We must be talking about Rise and Shine. Yeah, that's the Quick Fix. That's like, bam, flagpole time. And sometime with that, you know, that Rise and Shine, the next morning when you wake up, it's still cracking. But it's because of our environment. It's because of the stress that we're dealing with. All these things. It's like a war. It's a war going on. Therefore, what do we do when we're in war? We learn the art of war. How to fight for ourselves and fight for our rights, our natural rights. So the class on Saturday. The Enemy Within, class 2. Right here on YouTube. You can also go to elevationtime.com. There's a link up there for Saturday, this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, class number 2. Be ready to learn. What we've done tonight is just giving you some things to focus on for the fall to prepare you for what is happening so you can rise. It's time to rise, y'all. The planet is waiting for you to do your thing. You don't wait for the planet to give you anything. You're not waiting to die to become, saved. Save yourself. Are you ready to do that? Invest in yourself. Are you ready to do that? Some folks say, well, Dr. B, I can't focus. Well, we got a product called Focus too to help you focus. So you can focus on healing. You can focus on the season because this is the time to live in the season. Because you're going to notice a lot of mass distraction happening this year. They're going to give you more and more drama every way they can. And all the news and everything that's happening right now is to distract you. Because this is the time that we're supposed to become earthbound people and wake up. We're supposed to be the real people now. This is the time after the 6,000 year calendar, right? That calendar, or the 26,000 year calendar, it is to the point right now where we're supposed to be in the springtime of our lives and waking up. We're going to get more into that in other classes and other workshops, but we have to wake up now. We can't let the machines and the government and all these systems and the oppression take us out. Unless you're willing to let go of this system and let go of some of these things and take a break, you're just going to be a part of the system. You're just going to be a part of the plastic. You either want to become organic, right? So you got AI, artificial intelligence. You also have OI, organic intelligence, analog intelligence. But the big one is intuitive intelligence, where you know how to feel in your gut. You're in yourself. You're in your body. You know when things are about to happen. You could feel it on the event horizon because your body is clean. When your telomeres are the length is right. You can feel, you can know things before they happen. When you are getting rid of your parasites every time the seasons change, you're totally awake. You're ready to live. You're ready to say yes to the things that you need to say yes to and no to the things that are not for you. Intuitive intelligence is the thing that a lot of people are losing because you're asking machines about God and asking machines about spirituality and mystical things. The word mystical means it cannot be explained. There is no tongue. Look up the etymology of the word mystical. So when you start talking about a mystical experience, you can't really explain it because it's mystical. So you make up stuff that other people can possibly understand, but they can't because they weren't there. They weren't having a referent like you. Nobody is like you. You're the only one that is the one that's you. It's about becoming you again. It's about being yourself, for yourself, with yourself, being as individual as yourself, being an indivisible individual. What is an indivisible individual? That's where I'm going to be myself no matter what. But a lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of people don't know what it's like to not have parasites controlling their minds. Toxoplasma. Please go to class number 1, The Enemy Within, number 1, class 1, where we talk about toxoplasma controlling people's minds. And that parasite has got people that lost in space, lost in their minds. People are living in fear and they become inferior. If you're ready to wake up from the spell and start being an eagle and stop hanging out with pigeons, then this is the time to do it. Are you ready to fly and spread your wings? That is the question. This is the time to cleanse. This is the time for love. This is the time to detoxify. So we got the sale going on right now. A lot of the products are on sale, but also using that discount code FALL25, you'll get 10% off of everything at elevationtime.com, $99 or more. Are you ready to invest in yourself? Are you ready to rise this fall? So this is the season. This is the season for love. You create the season. Don't wait for the season to happen. Become the season. Create heaven on earth right now. Are you ready? Tell your telomeres that you're here. Alert your body that you're ready to elevate, and that is the time. Thank you very much from Elevation Time and all of the staff here. Thank you for all of you for being here at this particular time to be the great person that you are. Go tell a friend. Subscribe to elevationtime.com. Subscribe. You can become members at the website, and you'll get 10% off of everything all the time by becoming a member, a gold member at elevationtime.com. But you also can use that code FALL25 as a member. And now you get 10% off with using the code, and you get another 10% off as a member. That's 20% off so that you could donate to yourself goodness. Take care of yourself. Love your family. Find out who your family and your friends truly are. It's time to let go of the parasitic mindset. It's time to realize that there's a connection between you, your telomeres, the season, the fall, and parasites. Let's get out of these parasitic ways and stop eating ourselves to death. Much love to you all. I'll see you again on Saturday at 11 a.m. Take care. I love.